Nobody uses original work anymore. That's not an exaggeration, that's just an observation. What used to be a standard is now a rarity. Whether it's students, whether it's creatives, whether it's professionals, we're all remixing in some way, shape, or form an already made blueprint. And although that might feel harmless right now, I want to unpack what that might mean in the long run. Yeah. Look at my school, man. Everybody say congratulations, Saadiq, for graduating. Hold on. Let's start with school. I don't know a single college student that does not use ChatGPT, let alone someone who hasn't allowed ChatGPT to write 75% of their work. Not me, of course, though. But seriously, think about that. Students aren't researching, they're not writing, they're not outlining, nor are they editing. They're prompting, copying, and turning it in, right? They are prompting, copying, and turning it in. It's not just about AI helping, it's the process of learning being stripped away. Learning is doing something. Learning is putting it into practice. Any student that's been through some hard classes understand that you're going to need to apply these concepts. You're going to need to test these theories. You're going to need to spend the hours of work to be able to do these practice problems or test your thesis, right? Like, this is all acts of doing, in which is now being replaced. Listen. Professors know, students know, faculty knows, they all use it, but everybody's so burnt out that at this point it's not being fought against. I mean, think about this. I have Claude ads and Perplexity ads in my school. ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude all gave students ChatGPT Premium for free. They all gave their premium sources out during final season for free to students. I remember 2 years ago, all college spaces was resisting ChatGPT and AI because they knew that it would be able to be cheated against. Now all of these platforms are giving it for free and not any institution is batting an eye. If students can get degrees with so minimal effort, then what is the value we are putting on when it comes to learning? What is the value that we're putting on these degrees? I mean, this is twofold. How are institutions able to justify this price tag? And how are students able to justify going to get a degree for this? And to me, it infuses conversation as to why college is not as valuable. And although I think it's very valuable, this adds to that conversation because this is not only democratizing a lot of access when it comes to information and education, but no institution is fighting against this. And we all know that students are not learning anymore. They are allowing AI to do it. I mean, shoot, look at the box office right now, right? Prequels, sequels, remixes, superhero fatigue. Studios aren't investing into new ideas, they're investing into nostalgia. I'm gonna hold it because I'm going crazy. They're investing into nostalgia. So they don't need to invest into new focus groups. They just need to make a new Spider-Man. And even when it's an original film, like Sinners, you still get questioned on whether or not there's original ideas, original blueprints. It feels like X, it feels like Y. And that's the standard in which we're at right now. It's so derivative or it's so diluted. It's so diluted down in which we're even questioning what an original looks like. This is what worries me the most. Everything is starting to look the same. Everything is starting to sound the same. There's so much uniformity around. The same captions, same camera angles, same fonts. This is what's meant to go viral. This is what's meant to get you engagement, they say. But at what cost? AI does not invent culture. It amplifies already what exists. So by putting in recycled inputs, that output becomes more and more predictable and becomes more and more flat. So yes, the cream may rise to the top, but what happens when that top becomes more and more white and more milky? It all looks the same. Say it with me, folks. Shortcut culture. We are addicted to shortcuts. And I get it. Life is fast. You want to get to the quickest outcome as you can. But originality is process. It's editing 7 times. It's taking this terrible draft and making a final draft. It's using the wrong font 10 times until you figure out what you actually like and what works. When you shortcut that, you shortcut mastery. And what's left is content that looks finished, looks pristine, looks packaged well, but says and feels nothing. I have, there's a doctor that runs my opportunity programs academics, right? He's a doctor for academics or the dean for academics or something like that. And he asked me because a lot of students are struggling and it's hard to make that. You have to teach students on how to kick it into that third gear. And that third gear is what separates them from a student into a professional, right? And it's something that makes you a reliable person, right? And it was asking me what happened to me that made me possess that. And I truly believe it's not only with my family's upbringing and stuff like that, but it's because I chose 2 spaces, the stock market and media, in which those outcomes are They may not even have an outcome, right? Like these videos that I put out may not have an outcome. This may not go anywhere. This may not catch wind, right? But I love the videos I put out. I'm reflective of it. And it's not about that for me. It's about the journey. With the stock market, there's stocks that I may hold and I may never sell. That might be passed on to my family, right? It might be passed on to my kids, hopefully in the future. These two different paths that I chose when I was 16 has given me the blueprint for life in which this is all a journey. This is not about instant gratification. This is about delayed gratification. And hopefully, it's going to happen soon. But when these videos do blow up, you'll see that it's like I was consistently uploading for a week. I was doing all these different things, editing probably 16 hours out of the week just so I could be able to put and output this stuff at this high clip with this high production. It's about the journey. It's about the process. And that's the portion that pushes you to mastery. That's not the portion that pushes you to a shortcut. And look, I'm not against using tools, ChatGPT, Midjourney, Adobe Spark, anything. I use tools, we all use tools. But if you don't exercise that creative muscle, it stops working. Not flexing that creative muscle, it just looks more flat, it looks more uniform, it looks more gray than vibrant. When originality dies, so does invention, so does innovation. Companies stop innovating, students stop thinking for themselves, and slowly we become a society of consumers and not creators. And that's not a society that I want to live in. An example, I just started picking up drawing this semester. I took a class, Drawing for Non-Majors 1. It's my first time drawing at all. And I've gotten significantly better over the semester. And it's not like my professor taught me a lot of tools. Yeah, he taught me some techniques and stuff to use and whatnot. But in reality, it's just about iterating. It's just about continuously doing. One thing about graphic design is so interesting is that I could always say something better. I could always give a critique on a flyer because it's all about iterating. It's going to look better 10 times later than it is going to look now. And if you keep iterating, this is indicative of life. Life is ebbs and flows. Life is 10,000 hours. It's putting in work. It's putting in practice. And that's what I was doing with my drawing. My drawing is now getting insane. So, nobody uses original work, but maybe you should. Not because it's trendy, not because it's going to give you views, not because it's going to give you some type of validation, but because it builds you. It builds character. It showcases what's behind those eyes. It makes me believe you. When you come up to me and you say, hey, I want to do something, it makes me believe you. Yeah, so start from scratch. Go make something from scratch. Go start drawing something. Go finish that poem. Go put out that piece of content in which you thought was an imperfect take. It is imperfect. Life is imperfect. And life is about iterations. Make something that actually points to you and your character. And who knows, maybe in a whole room full of copies, in a whole world full of copies, your original work will stand out. With that, it's been Saadiq Ranks, Creative and Corporate. I'll see y'all next week, man. Hey, I'm graduating. If y'all want any conversations about graduation, let me know. This is insane. It's been 4 years at NYU. Life has been so hectic and just ups and downs, but I'm so excited for the next chapter. My family's probably gonna see this, so family, I'm sorry if I've been mad walk. I've just been trying to figure out life, to be honest. And it's working. And I might need some time, but I'm just excited for the new and what's to come. But recording today feels really nice, man. So I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. And it's been Saadiq.